Hello and welcome back. In this short video, I'm going to show you how to automate lead generation and help you boost sales. I'm going to go through some of the tools that I use, some of my favorites like Dripify, Surf, HubSpot, ChatGPT. I'm going to show you into automating lead generation using LinkedIn, and also how I've programmed my ChatGPT as a sales assistant so that can help me respond to leads messages. So if you've never used the Dripify platform, essentially it will automate your lead generation using LinkedIn. I'm going to go through a few quick setup steps, and I'm also going to leave some contact information in the description of the video where you can reach out. I do provide some free lessons and training, help you get started if you need to customize some sequences. So you can reach out and book some time with me. So just to get started, I'm going to go flip over to the Dripify dashboard. In this dashboard, you're going to see some quick statistics, some campaigns that are running, and some quick details of the stuff that you're working on. If you click over to campaigns, it'll show you the campaigns that you've got running, paused or active. The inbox is going to show you messages from your LinkedIn so that you can quickly reply to those leads. To get started, I highly recommend going into the settings, going to your sequence templates, and creating a template. Here you can build a template using all of the features that are available. For quick demonstration purposes, I'm not going to create one for this video, but I'll quickly demonstrate what one looks like. Once you've created one, it'll look like a flow of messages or actions that could occur when someone is passing through your sequences. So the initial part of a sequence is going to be that they're going to get an invitation to their LinkedIn to make a connection request and a message that's going to be added to that request. And then it's going to follow a sequence of events, whether it's going to wait to do its next action. And for example, it's going to follow them. Perhaps if they've accepted your request, you can set a delay. You can like their posts. You can view their profile. You can send them an additional message. You can set delays, and you can also put if statements. If they've viewed the message, you can have certain actions occur. If they haven't viewed it, you can have a different pattern follow. There's lots of different options here. I've worked through a number of different sequences and have developed a few that work really well and get really decent conversion rates. Once you've got your sequence set up, the next thing you need to do is create a campaign. To do that, you basically click on New Campaign, and you need to add your leads. Now, here's the part where I offer the training and free demonstration of how I do this. But if you set up some time with me, I can walk you through how to best narrow down your list of leads that you'd want to target based on what you're working with in terms of your industry or how you're trying to generate leads. Essentially, what I've done with a couple of different campaigns, for example, I'm targeting people that are interested in sales and marketing. So in order to do that here, I always go to LinkedIn searches to add my leads. So I will go here and look for people that are in sales. I'll narrow it down to people, and then I'll focus on perhaps a specific location, and I'll look for those results. Essentially, once you've narrowed down your search of exactly who you're targeting, you can copy the URL, and you basically just paste that right into here. It will crawl that URL, and you can import up to a maximum of 1,000 leads from that list. And then once you create your list, it'll get added to the campaign. Now, I'm not going to finish this because it takes quite a few minutes to get started. and I've got a lot running already, so I don't need to add any additional ones. But essentially, once you've added your leads here, the next step will be to create a sequence. This is why I like to create them in advance, like I showed you in the settings area, because you'll want to have a template where you can just import into there. And then there'll be a few other settings that you'll set up in the summarize and launch the campaign. Just to give you an idea of what that will look like once it's running, you'll have all the leads that you've imported, so it'll show you a lot of different information here. The sequence that's currently running with this campaign. The nice part about this is that once it's running and if you see that it's not working quite well at how you like it, you can make a few adjustments here. For example, if the messaging isn't working quite well, you can change the messaging that they're going to receive on the invite or some of the other parts here. You can't necessarily remove components, but you can adjust some details like the delay length or the messaging. So there's a few parameters you can change as you're going. If you happen to get into here and you didn't create a template initially, you can always save it as a template and then reuse that sequence in future campaigns. Again, statistics, if you're interested in looking at how effective your campaign has been running in terms of how it's progressing through the actions of the sequence, and also some other settings, which I'd walk through here in more detail. And if we're doing a training session, I'll explain some of these other features here. And you can also integrate some webhooks here. I've used them in the past to push data to like a CRM or other webhooks that you might integrate. So my favorite option, of course, is pushing the lead information directly into HubSpot. So you can do that through here as a webhook. But I'm going to show you an alternative to that approach as I go through here. So I'm just going to quickly walk through an inbox scenario. I'm just going to pick on somebody random here. So what happens is if somebody's replying to you into your messaging, and again, I walk through this a little more detail in a training session. But once they've responded to your initial messaging, they might give you some details back. What happens, which I really like about Dripify, is that once they reply to your messaging, it pauses the sequence that they're in, just so that it makes more sense and it doesn't seem too automated. Pausing the sequence is a fantastic feature. And if the messaging looks acceptable and doesn't need to be responded to necessarily, you can always just resume the sequence and it'll just continue going through the sequence of that campaign for that lead. And you can also respond to them directly from there and not continue the sequence, which is really nice because sometimes it just isn't necessary. All right, so and then the next piece that I wanted to show you was from here you can click directly into their LinkedIn profile. So if I do that and open up their LinkedIn profile, I'm just going to quickly demonstrate how I get my leads into HubSpot. I use a product called Surf, and it adds this piece right here into my LinkedIn profile view. So I can add this person into my HubSpot by just clicking the button once. And the nice thing about this is once they're in HubSpot, I can reassign it to a different owner. It will automatically start searching for me for their email address and phone number. And if it finds it, it will synchronize this to HubSpot. I can also set my tasks here. So if I need to follow up with this lead, I can quickly create a task right from here. I can also edit the task. So I don't necessarily need to jump into HubSpot right away and copy and paste. And this saves a ton of time. And for the cost, it's great value. Again, I'll leave all the links in the description to get to some of these add-ons, and so that you can follow up. And again, during the training session, if you opt in to use HubSpot, I can definitely walk you through getting the Surf set up as well. Again, you can also link right to HubSpot right from here because I've got this Surf integrated into HubSpot. It's actually giving me this link shortcut right here for HubSpot. I'm going to cover in the next video how to set up ChatGPT as a sales assistant. It's a bit of a lengthy process, but I'll quickly show you just to quickly demonstrate. What I've done here is basically set up a ChatGPT sales assistant and trained it so that it's completely knowledgeable about the product, my messaging, the responses that I normally provide. And then I created a sequence where I can just ask ChatGPT for what I should say next to this lead, and that helps me close the sale. So if somebody says, sounds good, I basically copy that and paste it right into my ChatGPT. It suggests what I should say in response to that. And then I just quickly read it over, fill in anything that it's suggesting to fill in, like the name. And then I just copy and paste this message directly into my inbox message response. As you can see here, I've done that already. And this has significantly increased my conversion rate. The automation and time saved from having to create these responses and making them so professional, as if a seasoned sales professional was actually working for me. I've actually created multiple sales agents with ChatGPT and run them on various campaigns. And so each one is a different thread in here. And so that allows me to navigate from campaign to campaign, and I can quickly come up with a response to any messaging that's replied to. And then I just quickly read it over, make any quick adjustments, and then copy and paste it right into the inbox response. Again, I hope you've enjoyed this. I went through it rather quickly. There's a lot here. But again, as I mentioned, I do provide a free training session if you're interested in using some of these tools. I'll leave my contact information in the description of the video below. Hope you enjoyed this quick tour of how I automate lead generation and boost sales. Hope you enjoyed the video. If you do, give me a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel. Hope to continue to provide you some more additional information and tutorials as I make progress and improve everything. Thank you again, and have a good day.